We are Focus Point Technologies, and welcome to our 5-minute educational video series. Many struggle with creating a meaningful, strategic, yet realistic roadmap for their security program. In part 1 of this video series, we will begin with the foundational components of understanding the influences around creating a successful roadmap. Quickly, let's review some of the reasons why people need roadmaps. First of all, one that's very common is there is a recent data loss or an incident that occurred. You've now got the attention of the organization as well as the budget to do something, and you need a roadmap to move that forward. You might be new to the organization and you need to produce your 30, 60, 90-day plan, and one of those things will be a 1 to 2 year roadmap to move the program forward. You might have a recent assessment finding where you've got multiple things now that have to be taken care of, and you need to be planful about moving things forward. Every year there's a budget cycle. Every year you want to make sure that you are being planful and being proactive around how to mature your security program. So a roadmap is definitely the way to do so. Depending on what's driving you to create a roadmap, you're going to have different internal and external influences that need to impact that outcome. One of the biggest influences is related to compliance. Whether it's PCI, GDPR, HIPAA, or any of the other acronyms, compliance is a driver for projects that's going to increase your program maturity. Another relates to the resources needed. Not only is there money or budget, but you also have to find the people to support whatever initiatives you need to put forward. You will have different resource needs for policy development than you will for tool implementation, so make sure you consider your processes as well as technology when allocating your resources. Finally, business projects will many times be overlooked, but this is one area where you can work alongside your business stakeholders to help better protect the organization at the beginning of that project. How many times do security leaders get brought in too late in a project where the risk hasn't even been evaluated yet? Better to be involved early. Risk and the risk tolerance of the organization is a critical influence that you as a security leader must be well aware of and able to adjust your roadmap accordingly. Many of you have seen this equation in the past. The one thing I really want to point out is that your risk that equals threat and likelihood also needs to consider that risk tolerance of the organization. So it's your job as that security leader to do this prior to defining your roadmap, but to understand where the tolerance is at for your organization and integrate that into your planning. So join us for part 2 in creating a realistic roadmap for your privacy and security program. I will talk through very specific ways that you can prioritize initiatives and really come up with that roadmap to move your program forward. I want to thank you for your time today and listening to this approach on creating your maturity roadmap. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at any time. I'm Kathy Waschenberger, and I am at Focus Point Technologies.